Okay, so the entire screen is being... So, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read this article here. Real quick. It's about almost 10 o'clock. But I want to just talk about Nimrod for a quick second. It says, the term Nimrod was a Nilo-Saharan ruler by Alice C. Lindsay. The term Cushite is a general term for people who live in the region of Cush at a time when the Nile was much wider. This includes many people among the Cushites, what I knew, red, black Nubians, Horites, the Ar or Aro in Bija. Goes on to say, it shows a map here, Lower Egypt, Western Kingdom, Kingdom of Cush, 700 BC. That number is interesting. There's a map by Alan Gabi, The Lost Tribe of Myth, that shows black Jews in Cush during 700 BC. And I think it was his pre-exilic or pre-exile. Anyway, it goes on to say that the Cushites were the first to unite the Upper and Lower Nile, and their influence is seen on the earliest dynasties of Egypt. It says, the point of origin of Cush is likely Sudan and the region of Lake Chad. So if you look over here, here's Lake Chad. Lake Chad right now is West Africa. There's Nigeria. So you're talking about Lake Cameroon. This is West Africa. Then it goes on to say Lake Chad and must date to at least 2200 BC. Cush is listed as one of Noah's grandsons, and Noah lived about 2490 to 2415 BC. Cush was the father of Nimrod, another great kingdom builder of the ancient world. Now, I did a video, this last video I did, and I had someone make a comment that Noah was from the Caucasus Mountain and he was a European. But we know that Cush is Cush is the son of Ham, which makes him Afro-Asiatic. But I digress. It goes on to say that Cush was the father, right here, Cush was the father of Nimrod, another great kingdom builder of the ancient world. Wherever the Cushite rulers went, they took their royal priests and scribes. The Cushite religion life diffused through the agency of these ruler priests. They built their shrines and temples along the major water system and were instrumental in collecting tax of commerce along the water they controlled. It goes on to say, before the Cushites were the Nilo-Saharans, and among them was a hunter-gathering king called Nimrod. Lua scholar Wander Simon has connected his name to the name of Luo Price, who is the ancestor of the Luo in Tanzania. His name was Kahirodi, which means go and gather, fetch, collect, or hunt. In Luau, Randi, and Road are cognates. So in the Nilotic context, Nimrod's name fit his biblical description as a great gatherer or hunter for the Lord. It says, anthropologically speaking, we might describe Nimrod as a great hunter-gatherer chief who left his home and established a territory in the Tigris-Euphrates Valley, and that would be here, Tigris, Euphrates River. This is the Levant, which is Mesopotamia. So actually, they migrated from West Africa into these areas and beyond because even say up and through Europe as well, and also through the what they call the Indos. I think it says something about the Indos. Um, I think there was another map, but here's Jerusalem here, Jordan, Syria, so Tigris River. Um, the Tigris River, River, Euphrates Valley. So Euphrates River, Tigris River here. This is where it says that Nimrod. It says, anthropologically speaking, we may describe Nimrod as a great hunter, gathered chief who left his home and established a territory in the Tigris River, Euphrates Valley. He is an in Maru in Sumerian. I'm trying to see if Samaria is over here. Samaria should be in here somewhere. But anyways, I had another map, but I'm not going to try to pull up another map while I'm looking at this. It says Sumerian, the chief hunter or the lord master leader in of hunter. In Akkadians, the chief or ruler is called Sar. Compare his to the Hebrew word that appears in the Targana, Shaka equal hunter, and note the similarity to the Hasu word Sarkin Maharba equals lead hunter. Let's see. Goes on to say that he would have been served by warriors and priests. Right here. He would have been served by warriors and priests. Some of these priests was Hyperu or Habiru or Hebrew. Now we have to understand that Nimrod, Abraham, especially Abraham, was not an Israelite, but he was a Hebrew. He was the first one to be called Hebrew. That's in Genesis. And I thought about it. I'm like, wow, I didn't even think of that. Because the Israelites are from the 12 sons of Jacob. So anyway, so it goes on to say the designation is a reference to the sun. The Arabic Yakubu means he is getting big, and with the intense active prefix Yakabiru means he is enlarging. This refers to the morning rituals of Harite priests who greeted the rising sun with prayer and watched as it expanded across the horizon. So they're saying the Harites are the same as the Hebrews. The line of Abraham. That was Abraham's lineage. Then it goes on to say here, the oldest known center of Harite worship is Nekhen in, whatever that word is there, in Sudan. The votive offering at the Nekhen temple were they 10 times larger than the normal mace heads and bows found elsewhere, suggesting that this was a very prestigious shrine. Horus priests placed invocation to Horus at the summit of the fortress as the sun rose. This is the origin of the morning rituals whereby the sun is blessed daily in every devout Hindu home and Yehudian sun blessing rituals. That is performed every 28 years. Okay, so let me try to jump down somewhere. I just wanted to read the little about Nimrod. It says the Egyptian called the temple priestly attendant, pure, the W being the plural suffix. This has been rendered on waper by the Afro-Asiatic language expert Christopher Effrick. The waper or Waper has significant political authority alongside the ruler. They preside over the ritual, direct towards the high god Ra, and act as intercessor between Ra and the community. The Dravanian temple. The Dravanian temple, the Dravanian east-facing temple was termed Opiru, meaning sun house, of the house here. Sargon Nimrod is said to have been the son of a virgin queen who was overshadowed by the high god. He was born in an Opiru. His home city was called Azu Paranu, meaning house of God. Azu in Akkadian, Asa and Chadic Asha, and Cushite Ashat. In Hebrew, a Jerusalem priest was named Am-Ashay in Nehemiah 11:13. Many Dravanian shrines and mountains are now submerged under the water, but originally they were on the land that bridged the Arabian Peninsula and southern Pakistan and southwestern India. The settlements are sometimes referred, I'm right here. The settlements are sometimes referred to as the Harappa civilization. Har refers to hours, and Appa is the Dravadians' word meaning father. The origins of the Dravanian religion was apparently Egypt and ancient Kush, from which the Hurrites came. Har-Papa means Horus is father, just as today a Jew might refer to his father as Hore and to his ancestor as Horan Horus. I'm going to say Yehudians, because Jew is a relatively new word. So I'm going to use the ancient word, although she put Jew. Abraham was not a Jew, and she has even an article on that. But I digress. I'll go on the next article. I'm going to do that one next, where it says that Abraham was not a Jew, but he was a Horus priest or Hebrew priest. It says in the ancient world, right here. I'm not going to read all of that. I'm going to go down. I just wanted to be brief on this. So just interesting reading on Nimrod, which we always knew Nimrod was a African or African descent. Um, whether he was from Northeast Africa or North Africa, or West Africa or South Africa. It says right here. It says, let me read this. It says, against those who claim that Abraham Hara ancestors were polytheists, we note that among the many divine powers, Baal of the Egyptian, only Horus and Hathor are ever shown in human form, and usually together as the Virgin Mary and the Christ child are shown together. In Christianity, iconography, inographic, um, iconographic. Re is present is symbolized by the sun, but he is never shown in human form. Excuse me for getting that word. I mean, some of these words I'm not kind of have an issue with, not issue, but problem pronouncing sometimes. I'm here right now. It says, the Kushite rulers, like Egyptian rulers, did not name their biblical father in their king list. This is because they believed that the ruler priest was the son of Re, whose emblem was a sun. The pharaoh was called son of Re, which is why Egyptian texts never mention an earthly father of the king. Kingship was rather a manifestation of the soulless deity overshadowing of the noble women. Sargon the Great, biblical Nimrod, claimed not to know his father. He based his authority to rule in the suggestion that he was conceived according to the Kushite myth of the miraculous virgin concept. Okay, I'm not going there. Let's get into some Egyptian stuff. I think I'm going to read. This is the last one I'm going to read. I don't mean to go through all of this. So it's like here it says Nimrod, one of Abraham's ancestors, was a great kingdom builder. He was ethnical Cushite, but was probably sent away from his older brother Ramah, whose territory was in northern Arabia. This explained why he regarded his mother as lowly. She would have been a woman of less wealth and status than the wife of Ramah, Cush, the firstborn son. After numerous conquests, Nimrod's territory was far greater than his brother. It extended the length of the Tigris Euphrates over here valley, and within the territory there were three principal cities: Babel, Erech, and Akkad, in the plain of Shinar, Genesis 10:10. The script used to communicate across Nimrod Empire is called Akkadian. I think I'm going to end there, you all. I just thought I'd get on here. It's kind of late, but it's an interesting read. And then this is by um, Alice Lindsay, Dr. Alice C. Lindsay, a biblical anthropologist. So she's have about 35 years of um, researching. It says here, let's go ahead and read this. It says, the Congress of Sumerian City States by Kushite ruler is well documented. Sargon the Great lived from about 2290 to 2215 BC, which is when his son Rimush, by his sister wife, ascended the throne. Alternative dates for Sargon the Great are 2360 to 2279, but these dates likely refer to his maternal grandfather, after whom he named. It was Sargon the Elder, not Sargon the Great, who conquered Nippur in 2340 BC and established his capital in Akkad. Even Sargon was also Cushite. These are all families. These are all builders, the original people, the original builders, or ancestors of the descendants of the original builder. She said, I do not believe that Sargon Akkad and Nimrod are the same person. I don't either. They're not. Nimrod lived well before this time of Sargon the Great. Exactly. He was the son of Cush, nor great-grandson. Sargon lived closer to the time of Abraham. Exactly. As I was reading, I said, wait a minute, is she saying they're both the same? I'm going to go ahead and finish it up because this is the end. It says the title Sargon is comprised of two words meaning king. The name is really a title that probably should be translated King of Kings. Nimrod, Akkadian name was Saru Kanu, which is loosely translated True King. Akkad was one of the settlements established by Nimrod. That's in Genesis 10. Nimrod was a Cushite. Sargon ethnicity is Babylonian. Similarities between the two kingdom builders are due to the fact that rulers of the ancient Near East had much in common. For example, they were viewed as having authority from the high god to govern the people of tribute, collect tribute, to enforce sacred law codes, and to expand their territory. It says the Igbo research, Dr. Catherine Akoluno reports that in Nigerian lore, Nimrod is known as Sharu King, which is interpreted to mean the righteous king. The Akkadian title Saru Kanu was also used by Sargon Akkad. The 7th century Assyrian texts say that Sargon's birthplace was a city on the bank of the Euphrates called Azuparu. Euphrates was also used by a 7th century Assyrian text says that Sargon, right here, sorry, birthplace was a city on the bank of the Euphrates called Paranu. It was a Horite shrine as evidenced by the word Paranu, The Haburu devotees of harvest called a temple O Peru, meaning the house of sun. Azu is the East African name of God. Asa, so Azu Peru means the house of God, and is equivalent to the Hebrew word Bethel. Okay, so I'm going to end right here. That is the end of it, actually. It said Nimrod birthday was in the Nile Valley. Nile Valley, probably up in here in Nile Valley. Niger, Nile. So y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end this. And I just thought, I know it is late, and I know I don't normally don't do videos this late, but I thought I would go ahead and do this since I was on the computer all day and didn't get nothing done. So anyway, Shalom, and have a good night. Bye.